Mind is simply an interface between body and soul. In the mind space, you want to see the things as you want, but in the witness space, you are able to see the things as they are. So don't judge your past with your current understanding of life. Past is not in your hands, and future is not yet there. Only the present is in your hands. Regret, if it is not handled well, it becomes guilt. So today we will consolidate the whole week of understanding. For beginners, if you want to share your transformation within this 1 week, what are the changes you noticed? So you can share. But if you have any clarifications, you have any questions to fine-tune your understanding, you can ask your questions. So we'll take few questions. Okay. So Punita.
Good morning, sir, and good morning, friends. Sir, I have one very important question. During a recent deep cleaning and decluttering, I realized I have many unused gifts cluttering my home. I want to stop accepting gifts to avoid this, but I don't want to be rude to them. I also worry that the gifts I give to others might be causing the same problem. So, my question is, how can I politely handle receiving gifts which I don't need? And the second is, how can I give meaningful gifts to others without adding to the clutters?
The first point is, if somebody is giving you a gift without you asking for it, they are giving on their own, you have to accept it. Unconditional acceptance. First, you have to receive it. And then, if it is not going to be a practical utility, then you give it to others who might need it. Rejecting is not the right thing to do. Just accept it because they are giving it. Somebody is giving you some stones. They went to some trekking, they went to some mountains, they found some nice stones, they remembered you. So they are bringing that small pebbles and stones. But just accept it with a smile because it is their intention which matters. They remembered you. They want to do something to you. So that's fine. Whether they're giving you stones or whether they're giving you gold, doesn't matter. You just receive it. The act of receiving should be graceful, number one. And number two, you see that if it is going to be useful for you, you keep it. If it is not going to be useful, then see who it is going to be useful for and pass it on to another person who can use it. Or if you feel that it is absolutely not going to be useful for anybody, it is totally valueless, then at least you discard it or recycle it. You have a choice to receive and then discard it or recycle it. But receiving should be graceful receiving.
So if I receive it and I discard, I feel like with the love they give, but if I'm not using it, if it is not useful to others, something is painful inside. I feel like I don't know why I have that feel.
After you receive it, it is yours.
Okay.
So what you do with it is your choice. Once you receive it, it becomes yours. So what you do, it is your choice. You discard it, recycle it, give it to somebody. It's all your choice. As simple as that. Clear? No?
Very clear, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, madam.
Namaste, sir. Good morning. I'm Archana from Cupertino, California. I had a question about a technical aspect around meditation. So when I am keeping the awareness on the breath and when the thoughts come and I'm cutting the thoughts and bringing the awareness back to the breath. What is it, the mind that is doing it, or is it awareness which is part of I understand awareness is a soul quality, or is it soul that is coming to the foreground? Can you elaborate that? Thank you, sir.
Okay. See, right now, it is the mind operating. So when you're asking this question, it is the mind. It is the mind which is asking the question, right? When the soul is in the physical body, the soul operates through the mind. You can call this, the mind is an interface between body and soul. Mind is simply an interface between body and soul. Once the soul vacates the body, then there is no mind, there is only soul. The soul exists in the body through the mind. It is an interface. There is body and there is soul, and mind is an interface. Okay. When you close your eyes and when you sit in meditation, you are using your mind to observe the breath. And when there is thoughts, you are not worried about the thoughts. Let the thoughts come. And you are not even judging the thoughts. You are not saying this is a good thought, this is a bad thought, or this is a good thought. Okay, let me continue. This is a bad thought, let me cut. No, you are not even judging. Because the moment you judge, then the whole point of meditation is gone. So the very purpose of meditation is to experience yourself, realize yourself. For that realization of your true self, to realize your true self, you have to let go of the mind. But right now, mind is in operation. So how do you let go of the mind? Is in the beginning, you use a little bit of mind to focus on your breath. The more you focus on your breath, the more slowly you will see there is a subtle gap. There is a subtle space between the mind and your true self. So what I mean is there are moments of no thoughts. You will notice that there are few moments of no thoughts. So that moments of no thoughts is actually the space between you and the self. And the more you are experiencing this no thought state, the more you are very, on a subtle level, you are experiencing these spaces, the more you are experiencing yourself. So in simple words to understand, when you're sitting in meditation, you're using your mind. The more you start observing your breath, the more there is a space between the mind and the self. Witnessing is the quality of the soul, you know that. So initially there is mind, and then slowly there is the witnessing which happens. In the no thought state, it is actually the witnessing. You are witnessing the complete emptiness. So the witnessing takes over. So initially the mind is dominant. In the beginning days of meditation, the mind is dominant. As you practice meditation every day, then the witnessing becomes dominant. That is when you are with yourself. The more you are in the witnessing space, the more you are connected to yourself, the more you are with yourself. Right? So that space between mind and witnessing, it gradually increases as you do regular meditation. So when this space is increasing, which simply means you are more with yourself, your awareness is on the soul, you are in a witness mode. The more you are in the witness mode, the more you are able to see the truth. The more you are able to perceive the truth, the more you are able to understand what is right for you, what is not right for you. You are no more entangled in Maya. When you are in the mind space, you are entangled with the mind. But more you are in the witness space, the more you are connected to the truth. You are able to see the things as they are. In the mind space, you want to see the things as you want. But in the witness space, you are able to see the things as they are. Your ability to train the mind to see from the soul point of view. So the more you are in the witness space, the more you are actually training your mind to see from the soul point of view. So it is the point of view. There is mind point of view and there is soul point of view. And the soul point of view happens only in witnessing. You got this point. So your entire focus in the process of meditation is to let go, is to surrender to your breath without any judgments. Surrender all your thoughts to your breath. Let the thoughts come, let the thoughts go. You are not worried. Let any kind of thought come, you are not judging them. Just simply come back to the breath. The more you come back to the breath, the more you are getting into a witness mode. The more you are getting into a witness mode, the more you are able to see life from the soul point of view. That is when the realization of the truth happens. Clear, madam?
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Next, Kalaivanan.
Good morning, sir. I am Kalaivanan from Chennai.
Yeah.
Sir, how to deal with regrets actually? Because I am around 60. If I look back at my life, I find lots of mistakes, wrong decisions. Many things could have been better. So those kinds of thoughts are tormenting me. I try to console myself. It could be a soul plan or it's a karmic settlement, but still I'm not comfortable. Is there any other explanations for this, sir?
You have to understand every regret is a fresh blunder. Every regret is a fresh blunder. A simple understanding of this is, you said you are around 60 years of age. Right now, you have a certain evolution in your consciousness where you are able to see certain things, what is right and what is not right. So you are using your current understanding, your present understanding, you are using your present awareness, present evolution to judge your past. So what happened 20 years ago? What happened 10 years ago? You are judging what happened 10 years ago using your current understanding of life. So that's when you feel guilt and regret. So that is going to be a fresh blunder, because regret, if it is not handled well, it becomes guilt. And guilt is a poison to the soul. So the simple way to deal with it is, whatever you felt best 20 years ago, you did it at that time. Whatever you felt best 10 years ago, you did it at that time. So whatever you are doing now is what you feel is best. So at any given point of time, you do your best and move forward. So don't judge your past with your current understanding of life. So when you judge your past with the current understanding of life, then you get entangled in the guilt cycle. And the more you feel guilty, the more your whole being is drawn downwards. So that's why we say guilt is a poison to the soul. That's okay. You have done a mistake. So what? Everybody learns from mistakes. So as long as you learn from your mistakes, you are successful in your life journey. So this is a very important point you have to understand. As long as you are learning from your mistakes, you have passed. Your life has a meaning. Your life is successful. So feel proud that you have realized certain things, and make sure that you don't repeat the same mistakes and move forward in life. Life is meant to live, not to feel guilty, not to regret. Yes, a basic regret is good. A basic regret that I have done a mistake, I shouldn't have done it. To that level, the regret is fine. You promise yourself that next time I won't do it. That much regret is okay. But beyond that, why did I did it? I should have had acted in a different way. That is going to take you to the guilt trip. A basic regret to see that you have done certain things which is not right and you are going to change it. That much is good enough. So focus on learning lessons and moving forward. That moving forward is very important. Focus on learning lessons and move forward.
Now, can I look back my past and try to learn some lessons?
Focus on the present. You don't need to deliberately look past and dig and see what are the lessons to learn. No. Focus on the present moment. So in the present moment, whatever the best you can do your best. And if at all you are meant to learn some things from your past, it will come to the present as a pattern. So whatever is your pattern, a pattern is something which repeats itself. So whatever is your pattern which is coming in the present moment, focus on that. If there is something your soul wants to learn from the past, the same instant or the same challenges will come to the present. And when you learn the lessons and when you implement that lesson in the present, then you break that cycle. So you don't need to look into your past to see what are the lessons to learn. Focus on the present moment. Today, past is past. Gatam gatam. Past is past. Past is not in your hands. And future is not yet there. Only the present is in your hands. So what is in your hands, you deal with it. What are the lessons to learn today? How can you be a better person today? How can you build your character? See, your focus should be on building your character. How can I be more authentic? How can I be more accepting? How can I be more forgiving? How can I be more compassionate? So focus on the present. How can I do good to myself? And how can I do good to others? So focus on the present moment. Spirituality is all about being in the present moment. Because in the present moment, there are a lot of lessons to learn. In the past, you are going to go into a guilt trip. The moment you connect to the past, you are going to get into a guilt trip. So focus on the present. All your lessons are in the present moment.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable guidance.
Yeah. Next, Jade.
Yeah, Namaste, Master and friends. I'm asking a question from my Vietnamese team. So one member, she had a lot of emotions during this meditation session today, and she has cried like 2 times. So she understood that this is an emotional cleansing, but she didn't know how to handle this, like to stay with her breath, try to come back with her breath, which is difficult, or try to observe the emotions. Thank you, sir.
So when you're going through certain emotions in meditation, be a witness to the emotion from a space of detachment. Knowing that you have an emotion, you're not rejecting it, you're not suppressing it. You know that it is your emotion. It is an emotion. It is your emotion, but it is not you. You are more than that. So knowing that you are more than your emotion, but right now you are going through the emotion. So witness your emotion. And simultaneously, when the emotions are getting very intense, witness your breath. So the more you witness your breath, the more there is a space between you and your emotions. So that is the way you deal with it, by witnessing your emotions. And more your emotions are getting heavy, you witness your breath. So witness your breath and witness your emotions. So that is when you are able to process it and let go of it. You should never suppress your emotions. Just witness it. Let it come and let it go. You just witness it.
Yeah. Thank you, Master.
Next, Perachi Perumal.
Morning, Master. I just want to ask that during my meditation, I observe my breath, inhale inside and exhale is outside. After sometimes I feel like my breathing is happening inside me. So I just want to know whether it's normal or I'm going in the wrong path.
Your breathing is becoming very subtle. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and then it's inside me. The inhale and exhale is happening inside me.
Yeah, it is very natural. You are in the right path. In the beginning, you have long breath, and then your breath shortens. Slowly, the breath becomes shorter and shorter and shorter. And you feel that, the breath is happening inside. It's almost, very subtle. You cannot even feel your breath also. That is very natural, and you are progressing in your meditation. You are in the right path.
And after sometimes I feel like it's stopping in my, the Ajna chakra.
Right. Yeah. So that's fine.
So it's normal to focus there?
It is very normal.
Okay.
It's very normal.
Thank you, Master.
Okay. All right. Okay, friends. So we'll see you again tomorrow. And if you have any questions, any meaningful questions, you can still ask tomorrow. See you again. Stay.